My teacher.
My name is Sarah Robertson, and this is my informative speech, and it's titled How Social Media Changed the World. How many of you use any kind of social media? If so, raise your hand.
Oh, I do.
Okay. Almost all of us use it every single day. I mean, what would we do without it? Some of us can't remember a world without it. I can't. It's always been around. I couldn't even imagine. I've always grown up knowing what it is, and I've had my own social media. That's the case for many kids my age and younger. I was about 7 when I got my first social media account. It was my MySpace that I shared with my sister. My mom made me share it with my sister. I remember decorating it with unicorns. And then I always wanted a Facebook account, so for my 10th birthday, that was my present. So me, you, and billions of people use it across the world. The use of social media has changed the world we live in. In this speech, I will discuss the beginning of social media, where it is now, and how it changed the world. So the beginning of social media first had to come the internet. The first workable prototype of the internet was in the late 1960s, and it was the creation of ARPANET, and that is Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. And then in the 1970s, it continued to grow after the scientists Kahn and Scherf developed Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol, which was how data would be transferred between multiple networks. So then ARPANET adopted Kahn and Scherf's work on January 1st, 1983. And then they continued, as well as other research, to assemble the network of networks. Then in 1990, Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web. So then this is like the years of like the first social media sites. 1997 was called 6 Degrees. Any of you know what that is? No. Okay, well it was like it's kind of like Facebook, I guess, kind of, but it wasn't like as big as Facebook. And then 1999 was like the first blogging sites, which were like, you guys know what blogs are? You know, you write like stories or whatever you want to write about. And then in the early 2000s was MySpace. And then 2005 was YouTube. And then 2006 was Facebook and Twitter, which are YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter are like the most popular. So then we have the social media statistics. November 2018, just like as a reference, the world population is 7.6 billion people. And the internet has 4.6 billion users. About 3 billion active social media users today. 116 minutes is the average use for each person. Me personally, I probably use it more than that, probably like 2 to 3 hours a day. And then 91% of retail brands use 2 or more social media channels to advertise. Internet users use an average of 7.6 social media accounts, and then I went through my phone and I actually have 9. I have Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, Pinterest, YouTube, and Yelp, and an email account. I don't know if you guys know what all those are, but basically it's just different ways to communicate with people, and then YouTube is where you watch videos. There is a new social media user every 15 seconds. Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp handle 60 billion messages a day. And then this is how many users for each social media, popular social media account. Facebook has 2 billion. Instagram has 1 billion. Snapchat has 106 million. Twitter has 326 million. And then YouTube has 1.5 and then billion. And then Pinterest has 200 million users. So since social media is a thing now, there was the creation of social media addiction, which is probably not around like when you guys were kids, because yeah, it was never a thing. The signs of social media addiction include spending a lot of time thinking about social media, oversharing on your social media accounts, like really personal things that nobody else needs to know. The urge to use more and more of the social media accounts. You use the social media accounts to forget about your personal problems, and you become restless when you're not able to use your social media accounts. It mostly affects like teens and young adults, but it can really just affect anyone. And then I have a list of some of the cons and pros of social media. So some of the cons is there's less face-to-face interaction. We're all used to just talking through a phone and texting each other, and we don't really have, it feels like we don't have really many emotions anymore because it's so like digitalized, I guess. Negativity spreads like wildfire, so like when something negative happens, it just kind of blows out of proportion because it's in the media everywhere. There's a lot of fake friends or like people you don't know like trying to contact you, and it's kind of creepy. This mostly affects girls, but like they focus on like how many likes they get, and they think if I don't get so many likes, I'm not good looking or whatever. There's a lot more cyberbullying. Making comparisons, so that kind of ties with the focus on likes. Like they see other people and they think, if I don't look like that, then yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. There's no privacy, so like your whole life is like put out there, and everyone can like find out anything about you if they just look up your name. Some of the pros is that it's faster communication. It's faster communication, more socialization, and it brought news back into millennials' lives. It's more insight on faraway places, and positivity also spreads fast. So social media has changed our world by a lot. It has introduced us to many new things. It's changed the world we communicate with each other, which has its good and bads. It's important that we know how to effectively communicate face-to-face with someone, though. It's definitely recognized because I have to take the speech class. That's why we're all here right now. It's important that we have the communication skills. Social media has changed our world a lot. We have the world at our fingertips. We can post one thing and 1 million people around the world can see it. So this concludes my speech. Now you can all check your social media accounts like you've been wanting to.